Hey guys, I'm going to show you a little bit of gaming in Linux, just a short video. So, first I'm going to show you an MMORPG that runs on Linux. And it's kind of meant for Linux, but it's also for Windows and Mac. It's called Champions of Regnum. This game runs pretty well. Might have to disable the sound here. But there's one thing you need to disable whenever you get into the game. Otherwise, it won't run right. It will crash. And it's one error that they've known for years and they haven't fixed. But log in here. This is the game. It's not one of my favorites, but it's one of the best MMORPGs on Linux. And what you want to disable is you want to go into options and just go into video. And you want to disable weapon trails, weapon beams, weather effects, and particle effects, and it shouldn't crash. It hasn't for me. Other than that, you can set it at full highest detail. But yeah, it runs pretty well. Now, I'm holding a microphone, so I'm not going to do. I'm not gonna like go into combat or anything, but you can watch videos on how it runs. Of course, it takes 20 seconds to log out. But yeah, it runs pretty well. Now, some other games you'll find. Dejura is a very good client for Linux. It's like the Steam for Linux. However, um, I recommend you run it on through the web browser rather than running it through the client because it does crash like a lot every time. Every time I try and download something, it crashes. And then of course there's Steam. You can download Steam for Linux, and it'll come up with some Linux games. And unfortunately, you cannot play Windows games um, on Steam on the Linux version. But but there are a few games for Linux on Steam. So and there's a few like I have The Witcher 2. Um, I uninstalled it because I only have 100 gigabytes on here, and this takes up like 33. So, but it's a great game, and yeah, you can see the library here if you go to games and then search by platform, SteamOS plus Linux, and then it will show a list of games, and then you can just search it here. Another, let's see. Yeah, and RuneScape also runs really good. There's a client that you can actually download in the Ubuntu store right here. Um, but it also runs really well. I actually play it. Um, but you can see how it runs. It runs just like how it would on Windows. However, it does. I don't know if it requires JDK or not, Java Development Kit, but I installed JDK, and I recommend you install JDK anyway, even though, I mean, it does not run as well on browsers, but it runs really well for applications. It doesn't usually go this slow, but yeah, 1 second. I have an authenticator here. Ah, shit. Okay. Now, whenever you first log in here on RuneScape, the window might be messed up with your mouse, and you just zoom in and zoom out, or maximize and minimize the window, and it should be fine. But yeah, the game runs really smooth. Um, I'm in a place where there's a lot of people, so yeah, but it does run really nice. Um, and yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and log out. And lastly, I'm gonna show you something that runs really well on Linux. Actually, for me, it runs better on Linux than it does on Windows. I have Windows dual booted, but go ahead and go into, let's see, I'm going to go into Documents. Yeah, and then open with JDK. Minecraft is a really popular game. Um, but yeah, it runs really well with Linux. And no lag at all. It's really nice. But yeah, those are some games that I installed for Linux, and I hope you enjoyed the video.